Welcome to Fighting Stats, the ultimate channel for MMA fans who love statistics and betting breakdowns. I'm your host, Art C, and I'm here to get you ready for the upcoming UFC fights. In this series, I'll be watching tape and providing my real-time analysis on how I think the fights are going to go. I'll be watching for fighters' strengths, weaknesses, tendencies, and overall strategies, pairing that with Fighting Stats' exclusive UFC stats not available anywhere else to give you a prediction on how I think the fights are going to go and ultimately who's going to win. So sit back, relax, and enjoy the show. Welcome to Fighting Stats. Welcome back to Fighting Stats. I'm your host, Art C, and today we are breaking down the UFC 300, opening the card, the main event or the main card. Bo Nickal takes on Cody Brundage. Now, you must be thinking, why on earth did they put this card together or this fight together? I have the same questions, and I think the obvious answer is pretty obvious. Bo Nickal, they keep on feeding him just some of these nobodies here, really trying to prop him up. So on the biggest card ever, Bo Nickal is the first fight on the main card, opening up against Cody Brundage. What a story there. So what we're going to do is first we're going to go into the numbers here. The numbers going to be very skewed because Bo Nickal only has 2 fights in the UFC. Brundage has 8 fights. So we'll go into that. I'll give you my predictions on how I think the fight's going to go. And then I'll go into the numbers and sort of see if we can find you a best bet, things like that. So let's start this right away here. Bo Nickal is going to be on the blue side. Cody Brundage is going to be on the red side there. So Brundage is going to be 2 years older. Bo Nickal have 1 inch up height advantage. Bo Nickal 2-0 in the UFC, 1 win by KO, 1 win by submission. Cody Brundage 4-4 in the UFC, 50% of his wins by KO, 25% by submission, and I think he has 1 by disqualification there as well. 4 losses, 1 by KO, 1 by submission, and 2 by decision here. So let's go right into the Bo Nickal. Let's go into the Bo Nickal offensive detailed striking report here. Here he is here. 75% of Bo Nickal's strikes going to be at a distance, 12% going to be in the clinch, and 13% on the ground. In terms of target breakdown, he only goes to the head 86% of the time, 14% towards the body. Does not throw any leg kicks. Again, this is a 2-fight sample size. I think it's probably about total of 3 or 4 minutes, not even. So take that with a grain of salt. So striking accuracy, 58% striking accuracy towards the head, 50% towards the body, and again has not thrown a leg kick there. Average strikes thrown by round. This is funny here. He's thrown 7 strikes on average in round number 1, landing 4 of them. He does have 1 knockdown actually. In 8 strikes landed over his UFC career, has 1 knockdown. So good knockdown ratio so far there. Again, 48 strikes in total, 48% strikes accuracy there. Landing 6 of 10 in total from a distance in the clinch, landing 1 strike in the clinch and 1 strike on the ground there. So very skewed numbers there. No leg kicks thrown as well. So nothing to write home about there. Defensive striking, Bo Nickal has only eaten or absorbed 3 strikes. 3 strikes in 2 fights there. 67% of them have been at a distance, 33% in the clinch. So that's basically distance thrown. 2 distance strikes landed from Val Woodburn, and then 1 clinch strike landed there from Jamie Pickett. So only eaten 3 strikes. We don't really know how Bo Nickal takes strikes or absorbs strikes too well. We just haven't seen it on fight tape here. Going into the Cody Brundage, we have more of a sample size for Cody Brundage, but not too big here. 58% of his strikes going to be at a distance, 36% on the ground, and only 7% in the clinch there. In terms of target breakdown, 83% towards the head, 10% towards the body, and 8% towards the leg. Not really a big leg kicker either. Striking accuracy, not bad, 47% striking accuracy, head strike accuracy, 73% towards the body, and 75% towards the leg. Average strikes thrown by round. Look at this. He averages 15 strikes landed in round number 1, 15 strikes thrown in round number 1, 8 strikes landed. In round number 2, Again, this is under a bigger sample size. He's thrown 4 strikes or 3.6, and he's landed 0.3 strikes in round number 2. So round number 2 definitely not his round. And then round number 3 bops up to 14 strikes and 9.5 landed in round number 3. He does have 2 knockdowns, both of them coming in round number 1 there. So pretty funny numbers there. Let's see the round 2 there. Again, Cedric Dumas lands 0 strikes against Cedric Dumas round 2. Rodolfo Vieira lands 0 strikes there against Rodolfo Vieira. And then Nick Maximov lands 1 strike there, landed against Nick Maximov. So 3 round 2s, full round 2s, only 1 strike landed in all of the round 2s. So pretty funny stuff. Again, Brundage has thrown 12 leg kicks, 9 of them have landed. 2 knockdowns there, 1 against Rodolfo Vieira in round number 1, and then knocked out Tresean Gore in round number 1 there as well. Defensive striking, look at this number here. 61% of the strikes absorbed by Cody Brundage have been on the ground, 18% in the clinch, and only 22% distance striking. Targets against 88% towards the head, 6% towards the body and legs there. Defensive striking, 52% head strike defense, 77 body strike, and 67% leg strike defense. And strikes absorbed by round, 14 strikes absorbed in round number 1, 2 strikes absorbed in round number 2 and 3 there. Overall, 59% striking defense. Again, has not been knocked down on the feet. Mainly because Cody Brundage doesn't stand a lot. There's a lot of scrambling on the ground, back and forth sort of thing. So let's go into the detailed grappling report. Again, these numbers, we'll go into them, but do want to preface it that Bo Nickal only has a 2-fight sample size here. Bo Nickal in the 2 fights has attempted 5 takedown attempts. Only 1 of them have been successful, 1 on Jamie Pickett. So he goes 25% against Jamie Pickett there. Did attempt 2 sub-attempts there overall. 1 ground strike landed against Val Woodburn as well. 3 strikes landed in the clinch against Jamie Pickett. So not much to talk about here in terms of the grappling. Attempts, 2.5 takedowns attempts in round number 1, successful on half of them, or 0.5, so that's worth noting there. And then defensive grappling, 0 attempts against, 0 attempts landed, so we won't go into that. Cody Brundage, he does attempt takedowns, 16% overall in his UFC career. 9 of them have been successful. 1.5 takedowns attempted in round number 1, successful on 1 of them. 0.7 in round 2, not successful in any of them in round number 2. And then spikes up to round 1 in round 3, 0.5 in round 3. So, yeah, I don't think Cody Brundage is going to have much success grappling here against Bo Nickal, but I did want to go into those numbers there. And then red defensive grappling, this is probably what we want to see here. Brundage has seen 26 takedown attempts against. 7 of them have been successful. So decent takedown defense numbers. Malkoun going 1 for 3 in takedowns. Rodolfo Vieira going 1 in 6 in takedowns. Maximov going 2 and 8 in takedowns. So decent high numbers in terms of takedowns stuffed. But there are a lot of reversals here. 5 reversals overall. Cedric Dumas getting 2 reversals. Maximov getting 2. Nickal Olizachik actually getting a reversal there as well. So it's just Cody Brundage, his top game, not the greatest. He does allow for some reversals. I've never really seen Cody Brundage settle down and really get a ton of top time. His opponent's able to pop back up there. So those are the numbers. Don't really tell us much here, so I'll go into sort of my breakdown of how I see the fight going. Again, this is a complete mismatch on paper. There's no reason that they should have put this fight together. Bo Nickal, they wanted to put onto the UFC 300 card, obviously, and then they basically said, who is the best matchup, the easiest matchup that we can get for Bo Nickal? Let's see, maybe we need a grappler with 0 striking, 0 cardio. Yeah, maybe Cody Brundage here. Cody Brundage has a couple of wins. Let's go over the wins. It's an armbar slam where he won in the first round. He has a disqualification in the first round. He has a first round KO of Tresean Gore there. So he's been pulling these. And then a first round jumping guillotine against Delcha. So we'll go into that. They're a little bit different, but Cody Brundage able to pull out these wins out of nowhere, getting a lot of these fluke wins. But Bo Nickal, again, coming in as a big favorite. If you go down to his previous fight there, I don't think Bo Nickal has been less than a minus 200 favorite. So again, this is basically a showcase fight for Bo Nickal on one of the biggest cards ever. So very hard to get a best bet in here just based on Bo Nickal being minus 2,000. So in terms of the breakdown, They're both going to start outstanding. Again, we haven't seen Bo Nickal eat many strikes there, right? We have seen Brundage throw a couple of big right hands there. He does load up on the left hand, right hand there. So Brundage first round KO is not out of the question. He could land, and we just haven't seen Bo Nickal eat a big shot. So it's hard to say that Bo Nickal has a granite chin, things like that, or he takes punches well. He just haven't seen it. Maybe he gets punched, turtles up, things like that. It's just not very high likeliness of it happening. The other thing I wanted to talk about, so we know that Bo Nickal is going to be one of these highly decorated wrestlers. We have seen over the course of Brundage's career that he does do pretty decent in terms of numbers, in terms of takedown defense there. Malkoun, a wrestler, Maximov, a wrestler, those ones going a little bit longer. Obviously, Malkoun losing by DQ. But I can see a case where Bo Nickal shoots in early, maybe. And maybe doesn't have as much success as people are thinking. Maybe goes from a single leg to a double leg sort of thing. And then one of the things that we really noticed in the Cody Brundage fight tape is that once Cody Brundage does get taken down, so I think Bo Nickal will eventually get the takedown. I think he'll look for the takedown. I think once he gets on top, Cody Brundage, what he tends to do is he tends to have a closed guard on bottom, and he tends to control the posture. We saw it all in the Cedric Dumas fight. Cedric Dumas not a grappler at all. Cody Brundage spent almost 15 minutes of bottom time, not looking to get up at all, not looking to shrimp at all, just closed guard from the bottom, controlling the posture of Cedric Dumas. And that's to say Dumas not really a threat on top, but Brundage limiting that. So same thing with the Rodolfo Vieira. Vieira getting the back there in round number one. Cody Brundage limiting the back time there. What we saw is when Brundage does give up his back a fair bit, fighters against him are able to get the hooks in, but Brundage does go answering the phone. He just keeps his arms up to prevent the choke, and he'll go 2-on-1 to prevent the choke as well. So a lot of stalling techniques from Cody Brundage, just trying to get to the end of the round. We don't really see him fighting out of positions too much, trying to get up too much. It's really just 2-on-1, tucking his head, trying to limit the amount of damage, and then hopefully the next round starts on the feet, and then he can stand on the feet again. So I do see a case where Bo Nickal sort of controls him on the ground, a lot of top time, but Cody Brundage limits the offense there from Bo Nickal. Bo Nickal might have to posture up and throw some ground and pound rather submissions. I think if Bo Nickal gets Brundage down into full guard, then Brundage is just going to keep the guard closed, not let Bo Nickal pass, and then we're going to see some ground and pound from Bo Nickal. On the feet again, I don't want to say it's equal because I haven't seen anything. Yeah, Bo Nickal knocked out Val Woodburn. Val Woodburn's not very good. He's a nobody. He used to fight in malls sort of thing. Again, he came in as late notice, knocked him out there. Another setup fight for Bo Nickal. So I don't want to say Bo Nickal has crazy knockout power either on the feet. Wouldn't surprise me, but Brundage has never been knocked down on the feet. I don't know. I think if the TKO comes, it's probably from ground and pound. I think the submission could come as well, maybe arm triangle, things like that. But let's go into the numbers here. I did go through the numbers here, so I just want to show you what we got here overall. Here it is here. Bo Nickal's going to be on the blue side. Cody Brundage is going to be on the red side. I said Cody Brundage to win by TKO at 40%. Or plus 150 or better. Again, I don't think it comes from the feet. I think if it does come, it probably comes from ground and pound, if I'm being honest. I guess it could come from the feet as well. I just don't think it's that likely. But 40% KO, and I think that's mostly because Cody Brundage really limits the passing of the guards. It's not like Bo Nickal's going to go to full guard, to half guard, to side control, to mount, to full mount, rear naked choke sort of thing. Brundage really limits that progression there. So I think Bo Nickal's going to have no choice but to posture up, bring down some ground and pound on top. Bo Nickal really complacent off of his back, gives up a lot of bottom time, so I can see that coming pretty easily there. Bo Nickal to win by submission, 35% or plus 186 or better. Bo Nickal obviously a wizard on the ground. Cody Brundage probably the best grappler that Bo Nickal has faced, right? So wouldn't be surprising to see Bo Nickal submit these no-name guys, but against an actual wrestler, collegiate wrestler, Brundage could put up a little bit more of a fight, but Bo Nickal probably sinks in arm triangle, maybe a rear naked choke. We haven't seen a rear naked choke just because Brundage defends it well. So plus 186 or better for submission. And then Bo Nickal to win by decision. I think a lot of people are counting this out. I do think it's live just because of the way that Cody Brundage stalls. I have it 17% 50% or plus 488 or better. Total money line of 92%. So all of that to say 92% for Bo Nickal, that's minus 1150 or better. The current line is minus 2300. So again, Kelly Criterion saying it's a very not a good bet to take the minus 2300. I would never lay the juice on that type of favorite. Again, 92% favorite is a lot already, and it's not even close to being value. So let's go over to the Cody Brundage side. Cody Brundage to win by KO, 5%. I think a lot of that is going to be in the first round there, plus 1900 or better. We have seen a couple of round 1 KOs there for Cody Brundage, so I think that's live. Cody Brundage to win by submission. I did put 3%, and honestly, this 3% is really just Brundage by guillotine. We saw Brundage jump guillotine against Dalcha after getting destroyed on the feet. Jumps guillotine, beats Dalcha by guillotine there. We saw him jump guillotine against Rodolfo Vieira, a BJJ wizard on the ground. Rodolfo Vieira actually wincing in the guillotine, able to fight out of it, pop his head out. And then we saw him jump guillotine 3 or 4 times against Sadiq Dumas there. So if the submission comes for Brundage, it's going to be by guillotine. I don't think it's very likely. So 3%. It's not 0%, but it's not more than 5%. So 3% there. And then win by decision. I don't see Cody Brundage winning a decision at all. That would require Cody Brundage to really control the top time of Bo Nickal. I don't see that. Maybe piecing him apart on the feet. I really don't see that as well. So I put 0% to win by decision. So total money line for Cody Brundage, 8% plus 1150. Current line 1100. So no value there. Goes to decision, not goes to decision might be what I look at. No decision minus 488, 83%. Goes to decision at 17% plus 48 there. So definitely something that I'll check out. I do have a couple of plays in mind. Some of the odds are available on DraftKings. I'm going to go take a look there. I might put some bets in. If I do put in some bets, you'll find them over at patreon.com/FightingStats. I post all of the information there. I also have a UFC300 hub of all of this fight tape that we've watched, all of these breakdowns, all of my numbers there as well, so give you a better idea of where the bets are and where the value lies. So check that out there, patreon.com/FightingStats. My name is Art C, and this is Fighting Stats. Thanks for your time. Thanks for watching. All right, guys. Well, that is it for today. Thank you very much for watching. If you like this type of content, make sure you smash the like button, hit the subscribe. You'll get notified anytime we put out new content. Listen to this. We just hit a massive parlay for $29,000 at UFC 297. That is one UFC after 296 where we hit a parlay for $82,000. That's back-to-back parlays. We've made $110,000. And how do we do it? We use our exclusive fighting stats, not available anywhere else. Our exclusive fighting stats gives us information, gives us a big edge over the sportsbooks, and tell us what's going to happen within the fights. We post all that information, our breakdowns, our best bets, over at patreon.com/FightingStats. Don't miss out. Make sure you subscribe today. Again, my name is Art C. This is Fighting Stats. Thanks for watching.